Today's video is brought to you by Grey Viking Games. Click the link in the description below to buy MTG Arena codes for cosmetics, packs, and more. Hey, what's up everyone? My name is Jeff, and today we're gonna have some fun playing Magic. And today we are playing Dragon's Approach. Super excited for this card. So 3-mana sorcery. It deals 3 damage to each opponent. You may exile Dragon's Approach and 4 other cards from the graveyard named Dragon's Approach. If you do, search your library for a dragon creature, any dragon creature, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle. And I can have any number of cards named Dragon's Approach in my deck. So if we get 4 into the graveyard and cast another Dragon's Approach, we get a free Velomachus Lorehold. That is what this deck is trying to do. So we need a bunch of ways to put Dragon's Approach into the graveyard so that we can get this to happen on turn 3 or turn 4, so we can get a really cheap, really fast dragon. Merchant of the Veil can discard on turn 1 to make sure we get something into the graveyard. And then we have Thrilling Discovery and Cathartic Reunion, which kind of do the same thing. 2 mana additional cost to cast a spell, you discard 2 cards, then you draw 3 cards. And Thrilling Discovery, 2 mana, you gain 2 life, then you may discard 2 cards if you do draw 3 cards. So a little bit better, but also a little bit harder to cast. And with 19 copies of Dragon's Approach, it doesn't leave a whole lot of extra room in the deck for much else. But we do have 1 Goldspan Dragon, 1 Terror of the Peaks, and a Lorehold command. So that's pretty much the deck. This is pretty straightforward stuff. But before we jump into the gameplay, I had a lot of people comment and say thank you for reminding them to hit the subscribe button because they had been watching for months and hadn't done it yet. So if you're one of those people, just go ahead and check it out. See if you're subscribed or not. If you aren't, go ahead and think about subscribing. I definitely appreciate it. Okay, let's jump into the gameplay. Here we go. All right, we against Comet Alien, and we do have a lot of Dragon's Approaches and 1 thing to draw with. We're gonna go ahead and try this out because our best draws are the ones where we have Merchant of the Veil on turn 1 and can kind of go off with it. So let's see if we can make this work. So discard a card, draw a card. Yes. Okay, Thrilling Discovery. All right, that's gonna be 3 Dragon's Approach in the graveyard. Sweet. So all we have to do is find 2 more off of this Thrilling Discovery. All right, I'd like to be able to discard it here instead to kind of keep filling the graveyard, but we can cast 1 on this next turn, and then we'll have to cast 1 more to actually get the trigger, because there's only 3 in the graveyard at the moment. Hunt for specimens. Cool. Okay, that's Cathartic Reunion. All right, so if we discard these 2, but don't hit another one, that could be bad. So maybe we just discard 1. At the same time, though, like I want to be able to set up so I can do multiple later on. We'll go ahead and discard like this. See, we didn't hit one. All right, we did it right. Sweet stuff. All right, so we're gonna play Velomachus this next turn, and then into Goldspan Dragon the turn after. Seems legit. Let's go ahead and throw out a Pathway, I guess. Dragon's Approach. Let's do it. Take action. Grab a Velomachus, swing in. We'll get a free Dragon's Approach. That's 3 more points of damage. Down to 9. Lethal with Goldspan Dragon on the next turn. Let's see how this goes. All right, they do have some life gain shenanigans that can probably happen here. And removal. Oh, yep, okay. That's fine. It's fine. It's all good. All right, so Goldspan Dragon. Swing in. Create a treasure. If it was Cathartic Reunion, I could draw some cards there, but as it is right now, we can't. Merchant of the Veil is at least a thing we can play. And we are getting up to where we just, like, if we draw a Velomachus, we still just have a chance of winning. Because we're up to 7 mana on the next turn, so Velomachus is a pretty good way to go. Okay, Mortality Spear. With the sacrifice, we'll get the damage they needed. And a 17. Oh, okay. Well, let's actually discard these 2 planes, I think. A little bit awkward because I'll have to use a treasure to cast another Thrilling Discovery. But I might just cast out like Merchant of the Veil or something. All right, there's some Dragon's Approaches. How many do I have in the graveyard? 1, 2, 3. I think, oh, man, do I really want to sacrifice a land here for this? I also do just have, wait. I have lethal. Right, these just do 3 points of damage. I almost forgot about that. All right, there we go. Okay, yeah, that's I got there eventually, okay, guys? I got there eventually. It's okay. You don't stop the commenting. We're good. Let's go to the next one. All right, we begins Kasabian, and we have 2 Velomachuses in our hand and Dragon's Approaches. We have no ways to discard, so this is not the hand that we want. Now we have 0 Dragon's Approaches, but all the discard and draw. We'll try this out. We're on the draw, so if we find 1 Dragon's Approach, well, we're still gonna go for this. We'll get rid of a Cathartic Reunion. There's the Dragon's Approach. All right. Draw another one, Cathartic Reunion. Life is fantastic. Snarl is nice. But it's also not perfect. So this is one of the issues with this. So let's go ahead and check out our trusty dusty MTG assistant, which, by the way, links in the description below for that. It does help support the channel, and it's very greatly appreciated. But our MTG assistant shows how many cards we have, the chances of drawing into things. So we have a 35% chance of drawing into Dragon's Approach. Typically, if you're wanting to consistently be hitting these kinds of cards, the magic number is 22, where in this deck we have 19. And that does make it a little bit more difficult to actually make happen. Let's go Merchant of the Veil first. Get rid of this one. See if we can draw into another one. Hey. Deck. That's not right. Actually, wait, let's see. Let's go Plains in there. And so because we don't have 22, there is this chance that we're not hitting into our Dragon's Approaches as much, but we are playing it for all the cards that we need to. So looking at the deck here, we have Thrilling Discoveries as a 4 of, Cathartic Reunion as a 4 of, and we still needed to be able to have the full 10 copies of a way to discard because we have to do it multiple times. And I think just going up to 22 just doesn't work for Dragon's Approach. So I think you have to be somewhere in the range of 18 to 20. 22 just doesn't work for this deck. You could probably take out Terror of the Peaks and Goldspan Dragon to make it work. But in general, I think that's kind of what you got to do. One of the things I love about MTG Assistant as well is that after each game, you can actually check out opponent's deck and see what deck, based off the cards that were revealed, it matches up most with in other formats. Let's see, how many Dragon's Approaches do I have in the graveyard? I have 2. So I can play Merchant of the Veil, discard 1 on the next turn, and then see if I can actually go for the Velomachus right away. This also blocks the Witherbloom Apprentice. Because I can pay 3 to discard, I guess that is to discard and draw a card. This also lets us block. Maybe just dealing 3 points of damage would be better there. Yeah, that's one of the things I love about MTG Assistant. It does everything. So if you play up against a deck that is really, really cool, and you want to see what they did, all right. So I have to draw a card and discard a card. So if I drew a discard spell there, that would be really nice. I could discard here to try to find a 2-mana discard spells again. I'm not sure exactly what I would discard. I think it's worthwhile though. No attacks. Okay, pass the turn. I can do that at instant speed, so maybe I should be waiting. But I wanted to try to find a Cathartic Reunion or other stuff, because that means that we could play it on this turn, which now we can. All right, getting more into the graveyard is nice. That's all the Dragon's Approaches in the world. All right, take action. They have giving us a chance to discard on the next turn. Terror of the Peaks is a little bit tempting because we know that we're getting close to doing it again. But we also get to cast extra ones here consistently, which is nice. Down to 15, pass the turn. That's actually where this deck really starts going crazy, and why you need to have these other dragons in here is that once you have Velomachus hitting in like 2 different times, you're typically getting a lot of free spells with it, and you get up to the Dragon's Approach again really quickly. So let's go ahead and block with Merchant. This deck combos off a little bit too crazily, and I'm not quite willing to let myself drop down that low. Once they combo, it's scary stuff. All right, so we get to combo again here. So yeah, 2 Dragon's Approaches in the graveyard. So 1, 2 more. Grab a Goldspan Dragon, I guess. Let's go ahead and throw this out so I have the colors. Dragon's Approach. Terror of the Peaks would be awesome. Goldspan Dragon can actually attack in and get in for 4 points of damage right now. So I think that that's what we do. And it lets us cast our other Thrilling Discovery, which gets us up to the treasures to play another Velomachus after this turn in case they have removal. Or play a Merchant of the Veil out as a blocker. Plays Tend the Pest. Oh no. Do they have the Plumb the Forbidden? Well, this could be very, very bad. All right, Dragon's Approach. I still want to find that Lorehold command one of these times. All right. We got through a lot of our deck. That's actually really cool. All right, so they're hitting in for 7 here and then potentially going for other stuff. I can't discard or draw stuff, so I guess hitting a land means I get Velomachus. Do I have to protect myself is the real question. I guess we go ahead and play this out. Force them to have every point of damage that they need, I guess. And we'll try this out. But yeah, every time that they already kind of have the combo. If they have Plumb the Forbidden here, we're just dead because they have just Tend the Pest. Okay, that's a good sign. Yeah, they gain some life. We have to lose life. Please, please, please don't have Plumb the Forbidden. Oh, that's actually really bad too. Uh-oh. Are we dead? I think we're dead. Alrighty then. Well, yeah, take 14. Good game. Oh. Yeah, I debated. I built a Blex deck, and I decided not to go for the massive Tend the Pest options into like Divicog Woe Eater into Tend the Pest because it requires so many things to happen right for you to finally have Blex work that I wanted to try to just go aggro with it. But this does seem to be a pretty good way to go because you just having that many pests is what's busted, not having the small number of pests. So I think that you do play the Demagogue Titans, you do play that guy and Tend the Pests because I think that's the way to go. So all right, up against Roland, and we'll keep this. We need to find some more Dragon's Approaches, but we have lots of card draw, so we should be able to do it. %33% chance of finding it. Oh, nope. Didn't happen. Uh-oh. Oh, there's one. One is something. All right, so discard a Dragon's Approach. So I could discard lands, but there is a chance I don't hit a land still. So I guess it's just the Cathartic Reunion. Gaining life here is important, so we're keeping the Thrilling Discovery. Terror of the Peaks is actually a pretty good thing to play on turn 4, and then maybe hit some other dragons along the way. So, decent. But we also have to not die to this deck because this deck goes crazy really fast. And we did not get the ultimate draw. Clarion Spirit plays nothing else. Okay. Ugh. All right. Play Mountain. Play Thrilling Discovery. I could go Merchant of the Veil instead. I can still decline here if I don't know. I can't decline because I gain 2 life and then I can decline to use the ability. So this is already too far gone. We'll discard a land now, hopefully drawn to more. Well, there's all the Dragon's Approaches. All right, so we found them. They were there eventually. Clarion Spirit. Lumimancer. Oof. Yeah, and they have all the flying blockers. Our Velomachus Lorehold I don't think has trample. I think it's just flying and vigilance and haste. You know, just those things. Not enough stuff. So we're very close to dead here. Maybe we need like a Storm's Wrath in this deck as well, or a Dragon's Draconic Intervention. I think would be a good card here as well. I don't know how you play though. Like you have a way to dig through a bunch. You don't want to bring Dragon's Approach down too low, or else you don't end up drawing that many of them. And we obviously are still not getting enough to be hitting it consistently. So maybe we take out Terror of the Peaks One Cathartic Reunion, maybe one Merchant, and go for it there. I don't really know. Let me know in the comments below. What would you guys do for this? All right, so Velomachus, swing in, free Cathartic Reunion. If I hit land next turn, I can double Dragon's Approach, and I think I actually have enough in the graveyard to... No, I don't. Okay. So let's go Cathartic Reunion. Discard 2 cards, draw 3. Discard 2 cards, draw 3. All right, and try our best not to be dead. Leonin Light Scribe into all this stuff. There's the Light Scribe. Okay, perfect. Just wanted to make sure that we really didn't have a chance here. Cool stuff. Yeah, we're so dead. We're done here. I just want to see how much damage this is. They had another one. Oh, good. And I'm stopped. Yeah, okay. Is this that first strike? Double strike. Oh, cool. All right, so I slotted in 1 Draconic Intervention and 2 copies of Storm's Wrath. Draconic Intervention just, I don't think it's going to be big enough for us to do damage. Storm's Wrath does 4 points of damage to each thing. That does kill our Goldspan Dragon and our Merchant of the Veil, but it doesn't kill our Velomachus, which is the whole point, is that we can swing in with Velomachus, wipe the board, hit in for damage, and kind of be able to go off on turn 3, turn 4. And so hopefully we can run into one of these. If we hit Draconic Intervention, it's still most likely we'll do 3 to 2 points of damage to everything, and we'll exile stuff, so that's pretty nice, and it doesn't hit our dragons, so Goldspan Dragon is safe. So we're gonna try this one out and play a few more games with this one. All right, up against Scar, and we don't have any Cathartic Reunions or Thrilling Discoveries, but we do have 3 draws to find it because we're on the draw as well, so keep this. So we should be good eventually. There's a Cathartic Reunion. Beautiful. Thrilling Discovery is the one thing I was worried about because we might not find white mana, but now we did, and everything's just fine. All right, so Cathartic Reunion, discard 2, pass the turn. Mila. So Storm's Wrath we can play on the next in a little bit here. Could throw out the Merchant of the Veil. Nah. So this is a Planeswalker deck. So whenever an opponent attacks one or more Planeswalkers that you control, put a loyalty counter on each Planeswalker that you control. Whenever a permanent you control becomes the target of a spell and ability an opponent controls, you may draw a card. Remember, these are a bunch of new cards I haven't even read. So whenever this enters battlefield, learn. Whenever you attack, put a +1/+1 counter on target attacking creature and untap it. That's kind of cool. It's not an amazing card. It's kind of meh, but it's still decent. All right, so I could go for Storm's Wrath and kill this right now. And not Dragon's Approach. This gets up to too big that we can't kill it with Storm's Wrath later. Let's go Storm's Wrath. I basically just took up 2 of their turns. At the same time, though, I'm taking up my whole turn to do this as well, so a little bit awkward. Village Rites, okay. Really intrigued by this deck. The other side of it is that they might just have removal to hit our Velomachus anyway. So just making sure they aren't killing us along the way at least helps. Felidar Retreat. Okay. Okay, take action. Let's go grab a Velomachus. Swing in, free spell. The 3 points of damage sometimes is actually really nice to have. If I'm discarding these, I might not have, like, next turn I actually just get 6 points of damage and another swing. Like, okay, we have lethal with these Dragon's Approaches. Yeah, so that's the part I keep forgetting about, is that this is still just a lightning strike to face, you know? Yeah, it's an extra mana for it, but it's still really cool. I think that this card actually would be much more playable if it was at 2 mana. I don't know, having a bunch of 2 mana lightning strikes to the face that you can play as many as you want in the deck. Okay, that's actually a little bit too busted. Bastion of Remembrance. Well, let's try to attack in first. Okay, bonus scoops it up. Sweet. They had a chance to gain life there if they had like sacrifice or whatever, so I was trying to swing in first to see their interaction and try to get this spell for free. Good stuff. All right, up against Half-Assed Chaos, and that's basically what today is right now anyway, right? So we have Storm's Wrath, which actually could be really nice to have here. Just playing out Dragon's Approach, is that actually good enough? I mean, this is a pretty control-y hand. Up against an aggro deck, that'd be really nice. If we're gonna mulligan though, we came to do a thing. We're gonna keep this. Drop a Velomachus. The tapped lands into Thrilling Discovery, a little bit awkward, but we do have Thrilling Discovery into Dragon's Approaches. So, and we just found the land. Snarls are online. Everything's okay. Killian. Alrighty. Thrilling Discovery. Discard some approaches. Storm's Wrath, not bad. I wouldn't mind, you know, more approaches. I did go down to 18 approaches now, so we'll see how much that hurts us. Alright, Dragon's Approach. Down to 19. Some lifelink here, so not helping too much. Build a really wide board, please. Draws, hits the land. I'm guessing that's what they're going for. Thunderous Orator. Whatever attacks against flying till end of turn. If you control a creature with flying. Oh, same with, so it's getting menace and lifelink like all these guys. So with Killian, it has all this stuff. Cool. All right, this is definitely a turn for a Storm's Wrath. Next turn, if we find some discard, we can hopefully discard and find another Dragon's Approach and then play it out. Nope, not happening. All right, well, let's find another one. We're also just getting up to Velomachus, so we're okay. It's all good. Sedgemoor Witch number 2. No spells. Storm's Wrath off the top. I'll take that. That's not bad. I have to have 2 cards to discard, so we're going to keep these 2 cards for now. Holding on to Velomachus because we aren't that far away from playing it out. Yep, that's good. Good stuff. Okay, Dragon's Approach. Take action. Grab our Velomachus. Swing in. Holding on to cards because we might have some extra like discard or whatever we can do. Let's just fill the graveyard. Keep the damage rolling. Down to 7. Lethal on the next turn if they don't have removal. Land gives us Velomachus and most likely lethal with a Dragon's Approach. That's what I was calling lethal with that. Blot Out the Sky. Those guys come in tapped, though. This is the biggest issue of Blot Out the Sky, is they come in tapped. It's the worst. All right, swing in. And we got the Dragon's Approach. There we go. Yeah, good game. Yeah, that's the biggest issue with Blot Out the Sky. It would be a really good card if it didn't have everything come in tapped. With it coming in tapped, oof. It's bad. All right, guys, I am trying to get my videos a little bit shorter here, and so we're going to stop it with that one. We had some pretty fun games there. We had 3 wins, 2 losses from this. I think I tested out a couple before, so I'm not exactly sure what the full deck is. Okay, that's all. So yeah, 3 wins, 2 losses. And so Yeah, decent. I actually surprisingly decent stats. Like Velomachus is just a good card. The biggest issue that there is with it is that there's not amazing spells that you're casting once you swing in. Like 9 times out of 10, you're going to be just hitting Dragon's Approaches. Maybe one of these Cathartic Reunions and get more cards drawn, which is nice. I was surprised how often we were actually getting up to 7 mana, just because with all the cards that we have, we're drawing into lands along the way as well. So honestly, maybe we could drop 2 lands to try to find other stuff, but we also need to make sure that we get up to 5 mana so that we can Throne of Discovery and Dragon's Approach on the same turn, hit a Velomachus, get an extra free spell. Storm's Wrath was a huge inclusion there. Definitely improved. How low can you go? This is limbo now. How low can you go with Dragon's Approaches? That's the real question. It seems like it's going to be a little bit difficult. I think it's nearly impossible to actually get this off on turn 3. So it's a turn 4 combo that gets you a Velomachus, and then you have to hope that, but there's so many other decks out there that are just like winning by turn 3, or you're just are crazy, or turn 4, like the Magda deck that I play. It doesn't happen all the time, but it does have a turn 3 win, turn 3 lethal with that deck, you know. So there are some just really busted decks out there. So let me know what you guys would change up with this one, because I feel like this has a shot. Actually, this is not tier 1. And I don't think it's quite tier 2. This is like on the verge of tier 2 though. So where it's one of those where it's like, this is explosive. It will win games. Its game plan is very straightforward and consistent. I'm doing this thing, but it doesn't interact very well with other people's decks. Stormwrath does do enough, and it does hit Planeswalker, so at least can hit some of the Planeswalker decks that are out there as well every once in a while. But as soon as someone has a ton of Heartless Axe, Velomachus dies immediately every time we actually do anything. Dragon's Approach does just get damage to face, and we are just casting enough of these that damage is ticking down on their life, you know, and so that does work out. So I think overall this deck is powerful. It is good. It's a fun deck for sure. Dragon's Approach is just a fun one. I wish it was 2 mana, but I understand why it's not. That actually would be really busted. If you could just have a bunch of burn spells at the 2 mana slot, even in Sorcerer Speed, even, you know, not being Lightning Bolts, that still would be busted if you could just fill your whole deck with that same thing and have the effect of the dragons as well. Yeah, 2 busted. But fun indeed. Absolutely loved it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much, and bye-bye.